welcome to another installment of Dead Beginnings. I am Thalrasthir, DM, aka Jim, and I've got my longtime buddies who we started this game on a whim by me, and we'll see how long they like it, or I can continue to torture them. Okay, so you guys remember rescuing Sildar, and he said he'd be happy to, I should say Sildar, and he would be happy for if you would take him to Phandalin, since it looks like that's where you guys are going anyway. And I believe you guys found some healing potions and gold tooth, and not a lot of other stuff. And unless you guys plan on doing something different, you'll arrive at Phandalin. And I will pass you a map.
Actually, I do have a question to just refresh my memory.
Sure.
Was this the thing where we were supposed to escort somebody and they went off ahead of us, or there was I seem to remember we had to escort some wagons and the people
That's
that
right.
were ahead of us.
Gundren Rockseeker was the person that had hired you guys to, quote unquote, escort some goods from Neverwinter to Phandalin. And of course, when you arrived, he had gone on ahead with Sildar and kind of left the wagon for you to take. And so, kind of morphed from a escort into a mini caravan kind of thing.
Okay, but so we rescued the second guy that he left with, but have we even asked this guy what happened to? I can't remember the name of him, but the guy who hired us.
Gundren, yes. In fact, he let you know that Gundren was taken, and in fact, the people there were specifically told to look out for those two and capture them. And I'm trying to give you the exact details. I want to say my memory says it was the Black Witch, but let me make sure that I can get the correct details. Interesting how I can't find it this week. Ugh. Ah, here it is. Okay. So we'll recap here. So Sildar Hallwinter is a human male, about 50 years old. Seems to be rather nice. He holds a place of honor in the famous Griffin Cavalry from the great city of Waterdeep. And he's an agent of the Lord's Alliance. And he wants to go to Phandalin because he's looking for another agent of the Lord's Alliance, and Iarno Albrecht, who's a human wizard who disappeared, and they haven't heard word from him. So he's trying to find out what happened to Iarno. There are 3 Rockseeker brothers, Gundren, Thardan, and Nundro. And they seem to have recently found a long-lost cave, which you had kind of figured out from Gundren before, the site of an old mine, and that Clarg, the bugbear, which you guys defeated, had orders to waylay Gundren, and that they took Gundren to a person that the goblins called the Black Spider. But he doesn't know who or what or where the Black Spider is. He does know that Gundren had a map showing the location of Wave Echo Cave, but the goblins took that as well as Gundren. But he thinks that they may have sent, Clarg may have sent the map and the dwarf to the chief of the Cragmaws at a place called Cragmaw Castle, which he also doesn't know where that is. But there might be people in Phandalin who might.
And we searched the cave more thoroughly after we were done, right? I know we searched the goblin area, but did we go back through and just thought we said we were going to go back through and just see if there was anything else we'd missed?
Yeah, there really, you did, and there really wasn't. I mean, you found Yimik's treasure, which was just a gold tooth and some silver. Clarg's cave, you found some supplies, but most were broken and beaten up or partially used. So they
And
were.
when we talked to the guy that we saved, Sildar or whatever his name is, did we ask if there would be any kind of chance of like a reward or a bounty for the killing this bugbear and all the goblins?
He doesn't. He doesn't think so. Um, he doesn't know of anybody that would be willing to pay for it after the fact. You can ask people in Phandalin, but he is not aware of it.
All right. I was just trying to figure out if I was going to try to haul that bugbear head with us or not.
If you like a stinky head, I suppose.
I always thought bugbears looked kind of like Chewbacca, but fatter.
Yeah, so pretty much the only thing that you really found that was of any value is you found a jade statue. You found a bunch of silver, more copper, 2 potions of healing, and the gold tooth. So all that's in the party inventory.
Yep.
All right. So here I've just shared with you the map of Phandalin.
See, and I keep thinking you're saying Phandalin with a TH, but
Yep, Phandalin. Although rather than Phandalin. Yeah, it's close.
That looks like a familiar village, actually. First thing that popped in my head when I saw that map was the village of Hamlet.
They're both about the same size, yeah, but nope, not Hamlet.
Well, and it seems like the thing up on the hill, there's something else in that same spot on the village of Hamlet map as well. But I think it's missing the keep on the south. I don't know, it's been 20 years since I've seen that map.
Yeah.
okay. So we've made our way into town. We've got Sildar.
Yep. So as you come in, the rutted track emerges from the wooded hillside, and you catch your first glimpse of Phandalin. The town consists of 40 or 50 simple log buildings, some built on old fieldstone foundations. More old ruins, crumbling stone walls covered in ivy and briars surround the newer houses and shops, showing how this must have been a much larger town in centuries past. Most of the newer buildings are set on the sides of the cart track, which widens into a muddy main street of sorts as it climbs toward a ruined manor on the hillside at the east side of town.
So another quick question. So on our journey back, I mean, I don't know how many days it was, but did we just let Sildar stay injured and wounded the whole time we were traveling, or did we do long rests that would have healed him, or anything like that?
We
Yeah.
healed him up before we left the cave.
Yeah, you did what healing you could for him, but they beat him badly enough that he's going to need a little bit of true rest to recover.
He's old, not injured.
Well, he's been beaten to exhaustion, right? And so exhaustion is a much tougher thing to overcome. And it's not just like one level of exhaustion. He's been beaten into several. So plus he's, 50 years old or so. So even as a guy who's 50 in good shape, he doesn't recover as quickly as he used to. So as you guys come in further into the town square area, you can see some children playing, and townspeople around are, tending to chores around their shops or their buildings. You see people walking about. People look at you, but they seem to return to their business. Hang on.
I was gonna say, was that what we saw? We saw the love shack.
Elizabeth has to bring her lunch again tomorrow.
There are probably tin roofs in this
Okay.
town, aren't there?
Would she like them stopping at Fry's to see if they have any more strawberries?
Okay, I'm upstairs. She's downstairs with Grandma.
Okay.
It'd be easier.
I thought that
It'd
was
be
my
easier
watch
for you to call
or
Grandma,
something.
and I'm keeping her awake just
going
until you
off
can
'cause,
get home,
I
or
got
at
a
least
text
talk
at
with
the same
her
time,
about
so it started
what she
vibrating.
needs.
I was like,
Okay.
Because we
Hey,
have to
what's
get
happening?
stuff tonight because we won't have time tomorrow.
Okay.
So yeah.
All right. So
Kev, you're quiet tonight.
Okay. Bye. Yeah. Sorry
Yeah,
guys,
I'm
that was
here.
my wife. Tin roof rusted. Yep. Okay. All right. What were you guys chatting about?
I was just saying that when the music went off, my watch buzzed at the same time, so I thought it was like me initially. I'm like, what the heck is going on?
All right. As you come in, Sildar points to the very first big building, and he says, "That's the provisions, Barthen's provisions, where you need to drop off the wagon and what supplies you could recover." But he also
Which building? Point to that one.
Can you see that?
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Instead of along the road, which kind of hides it, I went crosswise. He also says, "My friends, let us secure some lodgings. I'm told the local inn is very quaint." Yes, my dear?
Hey, Mom doesn't have her phone. Can Jared take your phone down?
Isn't
All
quaint
right.
realtor
Jared.
speak for tiny rooms?
Take my phone down to Mom, to Grandma, so they can talk about stuff.
So are we going to go to? I mean,
Right.
is it this building open? I mean, obviously we have to drive by it as we come in. Is this building, or is it middle of the day? Are we at night? They're closed up. Or?
It's we'll say you guys rested up a little bit before you headed out, and by the time you get here, it's not quite noon. And yeah, Barthen's is open.
All right. Well, let's go deliver the goods because I'm tired of having to haul a stupid wagon around.
I'm tired of staring at the back end of an ox.
I thought Sildar was now driving it.
He was.
Yeah, but that's true. I could be riding in front.
Or were you talking about Bogner again?
Oof. So Sildar hops down and he actually wanders further into town to just a couple buildings down. Obviously, probably to go to the local inn and see if he can get some lodgings while you guys take care of business here in Barthen's. So you walk into Barthen's. Of course, the oxen just kind of stops. It chews on some scrub grass. It's very happy just to stay where it is. You get a couple kids that look at the big animal, laughing from around sides of buildings, but they don't approach. And inside, this is a fairly large trading post. Its shelves stock most of the ordinary goods and supplies that you would expect to see in a rural community. You also see some backpacks, bedrolls, rope, rations. You don't see very expensive items. Everything seems to be pretty cheap. You don't see any weapons or armor. But most general items that you would consider adventuring gear can probably be found here as long as it's not too expensive.
I want to sell him my fancy longsword.
There's a lean, balding man, also about 50 years old, seems to be working the place. Got a couple young clerks that are running around, and they immediately come out and help unload the wagon and seem to take it out back. And Barthen comes up and says, "Hello, are you guys from Gundren?"
Yes.
That's that dwarf guy, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'll let
excellent.
Danlin and Bogner do the talking.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and lead the talking unless somebody decides to interject and say, yeah, with the he seems to have, we seem to have lost him, but these are most of the supplies. There was some trouble along the road, but this is what we were able to bring down.
All right, fair enough. Well, I suppose you want to be paid. Come inside. He walks in.
Yeah, we'll follow.
Goes behind like your standard, if you think of like the old Western sundry goods store, right? He goes behind not quite a bar, not quite a table, and pulls a chest out. Not too small, not too big, kind of a bread box size, and counts up some coin. And do you guys remember what you were getting paid?
Not off the top of my head. I know we would have written it down or whatnot as our party.
Let's see, did you get any player notes? So there should be player notes out there.
I don't know. I can't. Where do I find my player notes?
They'd be under notes. I see.
Yeah, it says 20 per person.
20
20
gold
gold
a
a
person.
person.
All right. There's 5 of you, so 100 gold. All right. So he hands over a bag. Fairly decent size.
I'll ask him if you'd like to buy the fancy longsword to have a weapon to stock. See if anybody wants to purchase it coming through.
A longsword, huh? Well, never know. Let me take a look at it.
It's very fancy, very unmarred by blood or gore or anything.
Well, it does look fancy, but that's not my thing. You probably want to head down to the south side of the main area, commons area, and you need to look for a place called the Lion Shield Coster. They deal with weapons and whatnot.
So when you were telling us Gundin or whatever his name is had a map, was there a location or a name you mentioned at the same time? I can't remember now about for a place.
Wave Echo Cave.
Right. And I'm gonna ask him. I'll ask the guy. Have you heard of Wade Echo Cave, or is that familiar to you? Try to interject it as part of the name of the place that we just mentioned.
Well, from what I know, it seems like the Rockran brothers all seem to think they found something like it. I know it's been kind of a thing of lore around here for a long time, but nobody's ever come across it. Speaking of which, where is Gundren?
We are not sure because he got abducted while heading this direction.
Abducted? Who would abduct him?
Some goblins that we took care of, but we're not sure where he went from there.
Well, I'm both alarmed and I guess relieved. You said you took care of the goblins? Did you run them off?
Yeah,
we took care of the ones we found. But did you mention the black? Didn't we know about some black widow or black
spider?
Black spider. So we heard that, and we found Sildar. I mean, and we saved Sildar, but Sildar indicated that they took Gundar off.
No, I haven't heard anything about that. I do know that Nundro and Tharden got some supplies and they took off into the hills. They're camped somewhere outside of town. I haven't seen them in, I don't know, a 10-day? But they should probably be back any day now to get more food. Those guys can sure eat.
Yeah, I was going to ask, did they have supplies for a long time, or if he had volunteered that, that's fine. He doesn't know which direction they headed out.
Nah.
When they do come back to town, where are they most likely to hit first?
Oh, well, I suppose they might hit the inn if they want a bath. But they usually come and see me to get some food and other materials. Of course, if they actually find money, they'll probably hit the miners' exchange. That's usually where people bring any, valuable ores or anything. We don't really have a local authority, but they kind of deal with the records and make sure everybody has their claims marked.
All right, we'll leave a message with them that we will be finding a place at the inn, and we'd like to talk to them when they come in. If we could let them know.
Hey, Jim, so I'm looking at the party sheet, and didn't you mention a gold tooth or something?
Yeah, should be in the inventory. Should be the second
I'm not
item.
seeing it in parcel items.
Here. It was probably unidentified.
No, it's up in parcel items.
I just
No,
identified
he just added it.
Oh, okay.
So we have one unidentified item. We have a gold tooth and a jade statuette that we might ask if this guy wants to buy.
Well, this guy wouldn't buy the jade statuette or gold tooth. It sounds like the miners' exchange might be more the place for that, because this had inexpensive things.
Okay, doke. And then we have one unidentified item. So
that was the supplies, which they've taken off your hands.
Oh, okay.
We weren't very good at identifying supplies.
No, I've got a setting where it doesn't ID some of that stuff, so I just have to, and it doesn't show for me that it's not identified. So I got to be more diligent in making sure I get that stuff open up for you guys.
That's no problem.
All right, so done our little thing there, and we're going to the inn, right? Or Jeff, are you gonna go down to that other shop and see if you can sell your sword?
If the inn's on the way, we'll hit the inn first.
It sounds like it's kind of in the middle area, right, Jim?
The inn is this. It's like three little. It's like the next big building down the road from you guys.
All right. So that sounds like that's the next. That is the closest thing, Jeff.
Okay.
All right. I'm dealing with some creep. Let me close that.
I'm ready for a pint.
I just finished 12 ounces of what turns out to be 11.9%.
That'll do it. All right. So you guys take your leave of Barthen, and you head down. And here in the center of town stands a large, newly built roadhouse of fieldstone and rough-hewn timbers. The common room is filled with locals nursing mugs of ale or cider, all of them eyeing you with a little bit of curiosity. You look to see what looks to maybe be the proprietor is a short, young man, and he seems to be behind the bar, dealing out, some food, occasional drink.
We see Sildar anywhere in here?
Yep, he's over in a table, and he's already got himself a mug of something and some food.
Oh, I'll approach. I'll go up towards the Sildar area, and I'll look over at Bogner and say, "Pints for us all."
I'll go to the bar and order them.
All right. We'll say some of you head over to the table of Sildar.
Is Evander going to try to ply his trade?
How big is this inn? Like, is it 10 rooms, 5 rooms, 20 rooms? What?
Well, we'll say, you find out from either talking to Sildar or the proprietor. The proprietor is Phandalin Stonehill. The room has the inn's fairly modest. It's got 6 rooms for rent. Sildar already has one, and the other 5 are available. And
How much are they per night?
oh, that's a good question, which is what I was looking for. Let me see. Oh, funny. It's not going to tell me. We'll say 10 silver for a room.
I mean, at that rate, we might as well grab 5 for us. Is 10 silver 1 gold, or is 20 silver 1 gold?
Actually, yeah, it's 1 gold. 10 silver is 1 gold.
Okay.
So it's really less than that. It's 5 silver for a room. Should be half a gold. I gotta do the math.
So we're grabbing what, 4 rooms or 5 rooms? You said we're grabbing the other 5.
Yeah.
All right. He's very happy. Just take it out of the party inventory.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You gonna just pay for one night?
Yeah, we'll start with one.
Okay. And he says for another silver for each of you, that'll cover meal and drink.
Yeah, if it's all you can drink for a silver, I'm in.
Well, wasn't all you can drink, but
Yeah, whatever. Close enough.
Come on, use that persuasion, Dalen. He's gonna eye Bogner and go, hell no.
all right. Well, you secure yourself some lodgings, get some food. They'll bring the food out to you. He pours you some beers, or ale, or cider, whatever you prefer. Evander's there to help. Bogner's there to help, so you guys have more than enough hands to bring him over to the table. So what you guys gonna do? You gonna just eat? You're gonna talk to Sildar? You gonna chat up a bit?
We'll chat around a little bit, try to find out what we can about the Rock Eater brothers, or where they are, and where they might be, that kind of thing.
And while you're doing that stuff, I'll talk to Sildar and ask him what he's gonna be doing next, and what are his plans and all that kind of good stuff.
He says he's going to first rest up a day or so and see if Iarnor approaches him. And if Iarnor doesn't show up in a couple days, then hopefully he'll be recovered enough he can go and start talking to them. But he's pretty well beat up from his ordeal, and he again thanks you for his rescue. But
who's Ironor again?
He's the Lord's Alliance agent, a wizard that has gone missing.
All right. I'll say, you think there's any work here for us then? I mean, we delivered our goods, is there anything else,
He sits there and he says, well, I don't know, but you can always talk to the innkeeper, see what's going on. They seem to know. There's a bunch of people in here drinking. Maybe some of them have some knowledge or rumors. You can always go ask them, see what's up. But as for me, I think I'm just happy to be here. So I'm probably going to eat and then climb into a bed and pass out. You get the sense that he's putting on a pretty good face right now, just sitting here and eating. But
Okay.
he's probably being pretty honest about his state physically.
Okie doke.
All right.
Well, I'll
Okay.
sit down and drink.
Dalen, you said you were going to ask around?
Yes.
Wagner, are you going to drink with me?
Of course.
Okay. Roll me a perception there, Dalen. And are you going to talk to anybody in particular?
The innkeeper for sure. Anyone else who looks like they leave the town a little bit.
All right, say that last thing? You're going to talk to the innkeeper, and then who?
If they're people who don't, who if they're people who look like the kind who are just stay in town and don't leave it, I might not focus as much on them. People who do also leave the town, broader knowledge of the area.
Okay. We'll say you start with the innkeeper. And as you start with him and ask him, what specifically, jobs or
Jobs, but also about um, the dwarf brother, or they're not, are they dwarves? With the name like that, it seems like they are. Yeah, the dwarf brothers. Just information on them.
he says that he saw him. They come in, they get his food, and they drink his ale, and they pay for it. But he says the three of them seem to always huddle together, discussing stuff, and always kind of seem to shoo people away whenever they had a parchment out that they were looking over. But nobody seems to know what they were talking about. One of them has been gone for quite a while, something about supplies. And the other two, we see them about every 10-day to a fortnight in here. And come to think of it, it's been a while, so they're probably going to be back. You might talk to Barthen. He seems to always be the one that gives people supplies and whatnot for ranging out into the wilderness.
He was the guy we dropped the provisions off with, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I'll just say, yeah, we'd like to talk to them. We left a message with Barthen to let him know that we want to talk to him, but we'll let the innkeeper know that we'll want to also when they get into town.
Oh, sure. Do you give him any other knowledge about Gundren or?
No, I don't.
All right. So a barmaid actually does come up to you, Nadia, and she kind of leans over and says, "Honey, I don't know a single word that you just said, but you look thirsty. Are you thirsty?"
I'll switch over to common. Yep, just trying to get a beer for me and my friend here.
So she looks at you, and she looks at Evander, and looks at Tertius, and looks at Sildar, and looks at Bognar, and goes,
I
Which
point
one's
to
your
the
friend?
dwarf.
"Okay."
I point to the dwarf and say, he's the only one that can keep up with my drinking. The others
Fair
can get a
enough.
beer too if they want.
I am gonna grab a beer, but I want to. I'm gonna wander down and sell my fancy longsword at to the place that might actually buy it.
Okay, so you're gonna exit for a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is Evander going to try to ply his trade here?
No, he's pretty happy to just.
He's out of practice doing anything except insulting people, so
That's probably pretty true actually for him. So Elsa comes back and she collects some copper and sets some stuff down and gives you guys all an eye and looks you over and says, "You know what? You guys look like more than just travelers. You guards or?"
I'll look over at Bogner. Are we more than guard? Are we guards?
They're not guards.
"Oh, well, what are you then? You look like you've been running around. I mean, She looks, you know, you can see armor and, you know, a couple weapons leaning up against the table. You wouldn't be adventurers, were you?
I'm feeling impish, so I'm like, eh, we, we, we may have had an adventure or two.
Oh, don't say. I love a good story. Tell me, what have you seen? Wild
Well,
dogs?
there's our storyteller right there.
Evander's the one who's best at telling those things.
Evander says, you guys are way too kind. But since you put me on the spot, my dear lady, and he goes into a little tale, and ooh, look at that. Wonderful performance. She is just enraptured by the tale of your exploits of bandits and dead orcs and ropers and goblins and a bugbear and wolves and then, you know, she gasps and oh my.
Basically she's ready and willing.
Not so much that, but definitely immersed in the story. And in fact, you have pretty much half the inn by this time has kind of quieted down listening to his little rendition of your guys' exploits. And of course, you know, the goblins were bigger and the bugbear was stronger and the teeth of the wolves were longer and all that stuff, right? But in the end, he kind of goes, but, you know, I guess you'd say we're adventurers. And she's like, well, that's just amazing. I can't believe the luck that we have now. In fact, you should see the Shrine of Luck. It's out in front of the building. But you know what? Doran Eldermath, he's our orchard keeper. He used to be a former adventurer too. I bet you guys would have plenty of stories to swap. You should go see him. And at which point somebody else at the end of the story realizes that they're thirsty and hungry, and so the volume picks up in your half of the tavern and she gets called away.
I'll look over at Bogner. Sound like it's something we should look into? Not today, of course. There's drinking to be done.
Yeah. And in fact, Bogner and Nadia and Tertius, I'd like each of you to roll me a perception roll. Since you guys had lived the tale, I would assume you weren't really all that enthralled with it. So you might have been looking around to see what's going on.
So like the active perception or like the skill perception?
Skill perception. Bogner's just fully concentrating on his cups, annoyed that there isn't anything more to smash at the moment, but happy to be sitting.
I'm more annoyed that the glasses aren't taller.
You're
tall enough
not
for you.
tall enough to have taller glasses.
I'll stand on the chair if I have to.
They come in pints.
So you guys, you two, yeah, Tertius and Nadia both hear some little bits of information. Tertius hears from somebody, some lady over in a corner talking with somebody else. He hears that the Red Brands hassle every business in town except for the Phandalin Miners Exchange. They don't want no trouble with Halia Thornton, who runs it. And then Nadia, you overhear what looks like probably an old farmer. You know, he's got those blackened, dirty nails and very weathered, deep tan skin. You know, even with a big, you know, dirty, well-abused hat on it. You hear him saying, you know, that Sister Grail, or Garael, Whoever sees the Shrine of Luck recently left town for a few days and then returned wounded and exhausted.
All right. Well, we'll note down these names that we've heard. I'm gonna leave it to you to help me remember them because
Oh, at some point I'm not gonna help you guys anymore. You're gonna have to
well,
keep
where
track
do
of
I
this
keep my
yourself.
notes? I can't. Can I write in the player notes?
You can write in your own player notes in your character sheet. You can start your own player notes if you want. I just started that for my own edifications.
How do I write my own player notes?
So go to Edit List. It's in the bottom right, little circle with a slash on it. Click on that.
Bottom right, circle with a slash. Not seeing that.
Is it in the notes pop-up?
Well, I have a notes pop up and it says player notes, Sylvester household, and it's got a search bar on the bottom.
Okay, to the right of the search bar, is there a button that says Edit List?
Oh, yeah, okay.
So click on that, and then you should be able to add one. There you go. So you can title it, and then you can start writing in it. And then if you want to click on public, then the other guys can see it. Now, you're the only one who can write in the note, but at least you'll have it.
Well, it won't let me. How do I title it?
Click on where it says New Note.
I am in it. It's not doing nothing.
Is there a black padlock to the right of that?
Just edit again.
All right, so there should be a pop-up somewhere on your screen. Looks like you deleted it.
I just did, so let's try it again.
Okay. All right, so you and Kevin both have one. So should have given you a pop-up somewhere.
I didn't see the pop-up before. It must have been hidden somewhere.
Okay. So there you can type in there title, and then down underneath that where it says text, you can type in your text. Kevin, do you see your note pop up?
Yeah, I was just trying to figure out how to delete it.
Yeah, so you just
I'll be right back.
back in the notes column, you'd click on edit again, and then you'll have a red button next to the new note. You'd click on that, and that would delete it.
All right, so the old farmer, what did he talk about?
So they're in the chat window. So that way you can just grab from the chat window and drag it into your note. Or your notes section of your character sheet, or wherever you'd like to store information.
All right. So when I'm done, do I just close that note thing?
Yeah, you can just lock it, and when that locks it, that publishes it, and then the other players can also see it. So then,
All right, so I locked it.
So if you unlock it and then type a bunch of stuff, they won't see what you type until you relock it.
And because I left it public. If I don't leave it public, they couldn't see it, right?
Correct. Yep. Leaving it public will allow them to see it.
All right, so did you just delete the player notes?
Nope, I just unchecked it from being public. Did you want those out still?
Unless there's a reason not to have them out. I thought there was still stuff in there.
There's nothing in there anymore. It's just kind of a running track of what you guys have completed.
Oh, okay. Well, if there's nothing there, then that's fine. So I've got my notes out there, and they're public for anybody that wants to see them. So I just have the two things that were mentioned. All right. Well, Bogner and I are probably just going to keep drinking through the night. We'll listen with a half ear around, but most of our uh, most of our focus is going to be on
I'm back. I'm back.
alcohol.
Okay. At some point later, a lady approaches you and she introduces you as Trelena. She's the innkeeper's wife, and she's talking to you about being adventurers, and she seems to be nice and ask you how long you are here for.
Well, we're here until we're not.
Oh, well, that may be good or bad. I don't know, but with the red brands around these days, it's hard to tell people to stay.
Who are these red brands everybody's talking about?
Well, there's some ruffians that seem to have set up shop down in the an old rundown tap house on the east end of town. They seem to shake people down for money. In fact, Thel Dendrar, a local woodcarver, he stood up to them, I don't know, more than a week ago when they came by his shop and kind of ogling his wife. I think they actually laid hands on her. The ruffians murdered him. Several townsfolk saw it happen, but, well, not too many people around here that's going to do anything about him.
You don't have a constabulary or?
No, we don't have anything like that. The closest thing we have to authority is over at the miners' exchange, but they pretty much just keep track of monies and who's got what claims where. But the Red Brands seem to have taken his body, and now his wife, daughter, and son have also gone missing. That's a shame. Well,
Wagner, any interested in looking into this? I don't know if Dalen's back yet.
I'd be
30
interested in
is-
looking at it.
Yeah, but I don't know if you're back yet. You were trying to sell your sword. We're drinking.
Yep. So we'll pause there while you guys contemplate that. Dalen, you wander down to the Lion Shield Coster.
Yep.
So hanging above the front door of another trading post is a sign shaped like a wooden shield with a blue lion painted on it. There seems to be a woman, roughly mid-30s, running the place. And when you come in, she, sees your armor and everything, and kind of gives you a little bit of an eye and asks you, welcome, and what can she do you for?
She can do them for $1.50.
I think that's a gold 5, but I'm not sure. Now, I'll basically say I have this fancy longsword that I would like to sell because I don't really need to carry 2 of them around.
Sell the Morning Star too.
Oh yeah, that'd be a good
We
idea.
have a Morning Star that nobody uses. It's just we brought it because it was the only thing of worth on a enemy.
I'll pretend you told me that before I left the inn.
That seems reasonable. Okay. So she looks him over and she goes, well, I sell stuff, so I guess buying it looks all right. Morningstar looks okay, and that is a nice sword. I give you 15 gold for the lot.
I'll do a generic. Can I do a generic haggle type thing?
Yeah, give me a persuasion roll.
Did you say persuasion, right?
Persuasion. Yes.
He meant persuasion. It really didn't come out as persuasion.
What did it come out as?
Oh, you're very persuasive, Dalen. I don't know, but there was an extra consonant in there somewhere.
Persuasion or something? Pseudo
It was, yeah, it wasn't persuasion though.
All right. What are you asking for?
Garrett, 10 p.m. bedtime.
You asking for just a little bit more?
With that roll, I could almost ask for her first form, but I don't think I will. Seems like I paid 30 for the sword originally. So I'd probably say 30 for the two of them.
Okay. She asked for 30 for the lot, and she looks at that sword again. And she goes, "All right, well, that eats into my profit, but yeah, I can still make a profit with that." And I know a couple old codgers that have their name days coming up, so it might make a good gift for them. All right, deal. Yeah? All right, 1 second. I'll be right back.
Dalen, don't you speak Elvish?
Yeah, I can see I can see the translation up above it.
Do you remember that?
I do remember that. Beer, 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 beer.
Yep. All right, I'm back. All right, so did you go ahead and I'll take the morning star out of the inventory. If you want, you can delete your longsword, your fancy longsword.
Yeah, I was looking at it. It's not always obvious that you have the right item selected when you go to delete something.
So you right-click down at the edit list for your inventory in your character sheet, and then it turns all the shields to red delete dots.
Oh, okay.
And then you can delete that item.
Yeah, I like that. I like doing it that way better as opposed to right-clicking on them and then hoping you right-clicked on the right one.
Yeah, I do too. Okay, and then you increased your gold by 30. So you just click on your number and retype it to your new number.
Yeah.
All right, so after the thing, she says, I'm Lenine, by the way, Lenine Greywind. Glad to do business with you. If you need some weapons, arrows, darts, crossbolts, I'm the person to see.
Mom, go to bed.
And
Did Nadia need darts?
No, Nadia has 50 darts. She doesn't even use them.
Okay, I couldn't remember.
In a short bow, but I do need arrows.
I could buy a quiver of arrows for Nadia.
okay.
I don't know how many fit in a quiver.
So arrows, you said?
Yep.
So that's 20, isn't it, a quiver?
Yeah.
I think so.
It's 1 gold.
All right.
It's 1 gold.
I'll go ahead and uncheck 20 of my little boxes then.
Yep, that'll work. So you get those arrows back. And, you know, as you're talking to her, she says, you wouldn't be adventurers, would you?
Yes, we are.
She says, well, I don't know what to do about it, but I've had several shipments go missing lately. And I can't prove it, but I wonder if I'm not being targeted, because it seems like my shipments seem to disappear more than most. Of course, my shipments are, you know, weapons. But I wonder sometimes if it isn't those red brands down over in the Sleeping Giant tap house, because I won't sell them any weapons. They're already bad for this town. Last thing they need is more swords and arrows to, well, coerce people into paying them money.
I will tell her that I would be happy to look into that.
Well, I would definitely be grateful. But anyway, tell your friends, come on down. Glad to sell what I have.
All right, I'll head back and regroup with Wagner and Nadia and everyone. And I assume we will share what we're hearing about these redbirds, redbeards, red guys.
Brands, yeah, red brands.
And I'm trying to coerce Evander to start singing the beer song.
Yeah, after another cup or two, he'll give out a rendition. Let's see. So he brings out his lute. And obviously with a few more cups in him, he's not nearly as nimble-fingered, but good enough for this, you know, small village that they're happy. And a couple of the older ones even seem to know the song. And so they all joke quite nicely. I have no personal, as a DM, intention of singing through the song for you, so you can imagine yourselves. But Lord bless Charlie Mops, the man who invented beer, beer, beer. Right, so it's now definitely past lunchtime. A lot of people are heading out back to do some afternoon stuff. The more family-oriented people seem to be heading home.
I'm going to comment to Nadia and Wagner that tap rooms do tend to have better beer. Do we want to check that out today, or do we want to sleep on it and check them out in the morning?
Well, we've already been drinking.
All right, so morning then.
Along came a man by the name of Charlie Moss, and he invented a wonderful drink and he made it out of hops. He must have been the man below the something or a kid. Down through his mazes we shall always sing. Look what he's done for us, he's still us up with cheer. Lord bless Charlie Moss, the man who invented beer, 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 beer.
There you go, Jimmy. You didn't have to sing it.
Thank you. I was actually about ready to start looking that up. So as you guys, you know, come in and out, you drink a little bit, let your food settle. After a little bit more time, the evening crowd starts to come in for some dinner. You see a couple of the younger field hands that come back in. Then you see some older people come in, different faces. Not quite as rambunctious, but they're all equally happy to be done with their day, and they eat. And you guys can give me three, just choose three of you to give me some perception rolls.
Have Bogner do the other one.
Yeah, I rolled multiple because I was trying to. It of course, it doesn't help if I'm talking while I do it. So I grabbed one, and it dragged the whole window underneath it with me. And then I tried to release it. I didn't even have to release it on the whole window. It just released it anywhere, and it rolled, which I didn't know that it did.
I'd have to see what you did to recognize
We
it.
all got 19s. Your first one was a 19.
Well, his very first one was a 10.
Oh, his was a 10. You're right. So he got a 10, I got a 19, and Bogner got a 19.
So you guys overhear a...
Okay, no. So what happens is,
Yeah.
if I can't redo it and talk at the same time. If I pick up the dice, move it over to the roll window, but I don't release it. But then I press Control, it doesn't release it until I move off of the window that you roll in. When I move the mouse off of the window that you roll in, it rolls it.
Huh. Like almost like the die's on a magnet and it gets taken off by the chat window or something.
Yep.
Interesting.
Yeah, because I wasn't trying to roll any of those. I was more. I don't know what really happened was I was dragging the mouse and the window underneath it was rolling with it, but that's not happening anymore.
Okay. I'll have to play with some of that. I'm not sure how that would be useful, so I'm not sure what kind of function you're finding.
No, I think it was a bug, but it might have been something to do with pressing the control while I was doing something.
Oh, I'm sure it is. There's lots of little... What the heck? What was that? That almost beamed me.
Did we lose Jimmy or?
No,
I don't know.
there's objects flying upstairs, almost hitting me.
Okay, because you stopped in the middle of a sentence, so I wasn't sure on that.
Yeah, it was me ducking. My wife threw something at Jared, and I wish she had caught it instead, but it's... All right, sorry, let me get back to it. All right, so 19, 19, 10, all right. So you guys here, looks like a miner that's come in. He talks about orc raiders being seen on the east end of the Tribord Trail. The townmaster is looking for someone to run them off. And you guys hear more complaints about the red brands hassling people. And specifically, it's a shame what happened to the Dendrars.
The Dendrars are the ones that the
man was
Wife
killed and
was
the wife
killed.
and kids were taken or disappeared, yeah.
Yeah, you didn't have anything in the chat window for me to copy on that, so I...
There you go. Take that. Shame on me. And there's a little chat for Doran Edermath, the former adventurer.
All right. So I've made those public. So I'm just capturing the stuff that Jimmy puts in there, guys, if we need to know it. It's under Nadia notes.
Sounds good.
All right. So things kind of finish out. Good night, Jared. Things kind of finish out, and the married men seem to get up and leave. Of course, at ribbing with their fellows that obviously aren't married, and Elsa seems to flirt with a couple of the younger, sturdier boys, but nobody seems to be jealous. So it doesn't look like there's going to be any fights tonight. And that kind of wraps up the evening. Sildar
Nadia will
bids you good night.
stumble to her room.
All right.
I won't freak anybody out by stumbling on the ceiling.
Yeah, probably a right decent thing of you to do. Okay, so we'll let's see. Let me see if anything happens here.
And I don't sleep. I just do my trance thing.
Okay, man.
Really.
Fair enough. So we'll just say things end. The evening ends with no issue, and you guys all wake up in the morning with no problems. And I'm going to take a quick beer break, go grab a beer, and I will be back. So, a couple minutes. All right. I'm going to drink a Diesel Punk Stout. Their Honey Amber was actually pretty decent.
Well, I would never drink the honey amber only because it has the word honey in it. But I have had a few of the diesel punks, and that stout may have been one of them.
The
It's in a can, right?
Yeah, it's in a can. It's a good stout.
All right, so we get up the next morning.
Get a little breakfast in you. For those that want, there's some goat's milk or some watered down cider.
No ale?
They'll serve it, but they'll give you an odd look. I mean, this is kind of a working town, and most people don't get into their cups before they start working.
I'd speak Dwarven to him, but I can't. I don't know how. I could probably learn that one word though.
Yeah, and what's your intelligence?
13.
Yeah, you could probably learn the word ale in Dwarvish.
You spoke Draconic, which now I gotta switch my who I'm looking at because Tertius can understand it.
Alrighty. So where do you want to go this morning?
Well, I'm assuming, Dalen, you're gonna say that you already agreed to go look into the red brand issue.
Yeah, I did.
And so Bogner and I can share the fact that we've also heard about these red brands. Matter of fact, sounds like they may have murdered somebody.
Yeah, that's several steps too far.
So we will. Well, I'll follow you. I'm kind of wandering. There's Bogner. So Bogner, we've slept. We got up. We had breakfast. I looked over at you and asked you if you wanted ale instead of their goat's milk, which I'm assuming you wanted ale. And now
That sounds a lot better than goat milk. So
we're off to go figure out the red brand situation because Dalen is already committed to doing that, and I'm fine with following him over there and seeing what's up.
So should we try and find the town master first and talk to him about him, or you just want to head on over there?
Well, we already heard that they killed somebody, and Dalen's already committed to going and checking it out himself. So I'm good. If you want to suggest that, I'm good either way. Nadia will just stand back and kind of, yeah, whatever.
No, sounds like he is.
Yeah, I mean, I'll suggest that to Dalen before we head off over there.
Dalen, you're up.
All right. We will wander over towards that building and
Well, wait, Wagner just suggested we go see the townsmaster first. Are you gonna ignore him?
oh, that's right. I heard him say that too.
Okay.
Yeah, we can do that.
Well, it's on the way since it's just south. Townmaster's Hall is right here, next big building south of the inn that you guys stay at. And the red brands are towards the east end of town. So you go over to the Townmaster's Hall, and it's just made of sturdy stone walls, pitched wooden roof, a bell tower on the back, and posted on a board next to the front door is a notice. It reads, "Reward, orcs near Wyvern Tor. Those of a mind to face the orc menace should inquire within." And the notice bears the town seal and an indecipherable signature.
All right. So we're going in, I assume.
Yep.
All right.
Nadia will kind of hang back. Tertius is gonna even hang outside. He's more comfortable outside.
All right. So this is kind of like a two-room type area. The front room is more of a waiting area, and the back room is kind of more of an office, if you will. There's some stairs off to the side that head down that have a seem to be barred off, so they look like maybe that's the entryway to, I don't know, a makeshift jail of sorts. and you come across the person who's coming out of the back room, and he introduces himself as Harbin Wester. At your service, I'm the town master. You guys here for, as he looks over your equipment, are you guys here for the notice on the outside?
Among other things, yes.
Excellent, excellent. And you notice right away that this is a really large human male, very, very overweight. Seems to have some, what looks like an attempt to wear fine clothes, but maybe they're not really what royalty would really wear or courtiers would really wear. It looks like he's trying to put on airs and not doing a very good job. But when you mention about the notice, right? You just talked about the notice. Because I only caught half what you said there, Dalen.
Oh, sorry. I just said, among other things, yes, we're there about the notice.
Oh, excellent, excellent. So, well, we know there's orcs to the east, and if you head that way along the Tribord Trail and see if you can hunt them down, we've got a standing offer for 100 gold to anybody that can take care of them. And we're not sure where they're stationed out of, but well, they're not a huge problem yet, but they are causing some loss of equipment and supplies to miners, and we figure it's just a matter of time before they really start taking out our supply caravans.
How many been reported?
Well, can't rightly say. Those that get away, it's anywhere from 2 to hundreds. Me personally, if it was hundreds, yeah, we probably wouldn't be here. Most like handful or something.
Nadia will ask from the back, what do you want for proof that we've done the task?
Oh, well, I suppose something shows me that you took out the chieftain, maybe? That might be all right. I know a lot of people are into heads and such, but I'd rather not have you bring a severed head back to me. Kind of messy.
Nadia will grin and we'll see if we can find something else.
So I'm also going to ask the guy, so what's the deal with these red brands and the stories we're hearing about them?
Oh, the red brands. He gets a little nervous. Well, they're just a mercenary guild. Not much trouble really. They seem to put up quarters over the sleeping giant, but they seem to do their business.
I'm going to try to use persuasion to tell us how he really feels, since he seems a little evasive.
Okay. But they're mercenaries. You know, I mean, they're kind of rough and tumble lot. Yeah, some people don't mind care for them, I guess, but you know, they'll do whatever they want to do and then move on.
So what's the story with the Fel Dendrar and what happened with him?
Oh, well, some folks said that he got in a fight with them, and well, he shouldn't have been messing around with mercenaries. I mean, they're trained fighters and all. He probably got what was coming to him.
I'll try to find out if there were issues with Fel prior to this mercenary band being here. Was he more of a troublemaker? Was he more upright citizen? What kind of person was he?
Upright citizen, orchard worker, good, nice, all right guy, family man. You know, you know, sure he had words with some of the people around here, but never for very long, and always seemed to work itself out.
Okay. Anyone else have any questions?
No, Nadia's just looking around aimlessly.
Okay. About this time, Sildar walks in, and he sees you here, and he's like, "Oh, good to see that you're here." And meaning to talk with you guys before you took off. You know, well, I can't personally, but I think you know, you guys should continue to look into these goblins and see if there's a larger force staged nearby. Probably maybe this Kragma castle or something. You probably find it around here if you know, search around the Tribord Trail for more raiding parties. Maybe you'll come across where their main lair is, this Kragma castle. In fact, he looks over at Harbin and asks Harbin if he knows about the castle, and Harbin has no real idea. But he also fills you in, and he lets you know that you know, he's been asking several of the locals around for his fellow guild member Iarno, and seems like Iarno disappeared exploring the manor on the east side of town a few months ago, shortly after arriving in Phandalin. So if you wouldn't mind, you know, if you got another bit of time, maybe head over there and see what's going on over there. And let me know if you can find him or bring back what's left of him. He's short, dark-bearded human, a little younger than, or quite a bit younger than me, about half my age, in his 30s. There's quite a bit of coin that I can incentivize you through the Lord's Alliance for either the removal of the goblins or for Ionar's return, or you know, evidence of his demise.
What did you say the guy's name?
Iarno. Let me see if I can throw it up here. Iarno Albrecht.
So he's missing.
Yep. So he's missing on the east side of town, up behind the banner. It seemed where he disappeared. And Kragma Castle seems to be the seat of the Kragma goblins, and there's hints that they have raiding parties around the area east along the Tribord Trail.
So basically, there's a bunch of stuff east.
I'll ask both of them if they know where Sister Garael's staying or where we can find her, since she also seemed to return wounded.
Says she normally has a little hut by the Shrine of Luck. She's normally out there during the day, kind of, keeping it clean, keeping the kids off of it. Sildar says, well, I saw her out there as I came over this morning, so surprised you didn't see her, but she's out there.
Yeah, I guess I'm kind of curious as to whether or not that's related to the stuff off to the east or not.
Well, it did say that she returned wounded and exhausted, so.
Yeah, I was just wondering, maybe go out, talk to her and find out, where that happened. See if it's the same general area or if it's something totally different.
Okay. Well, Nadia wanders back outside and just kind of waits for the rest of the folks to come back out. She's lost interest in the conversation.
Okay, so Nadia wanders outside. We'll say Tertius wanders with her.
Tertius had stayed outside. He never came in.
Ah, perfect. Okay. Evander will wander out then. So.
All right, well, I'll let you know if we find anything, and with that, I'll go ahead and head out.
Excellent, excellent. Well, let me know. Sildar actually calls out to Dalen, says if he'd stay behind a moment.
Okay.
Okay, so when you stay behind, he approaches you and kind of takes you aside and gives Harbin a nod, and Harbin coughs and excuses himself back into his office. Says, I can see you're a young man who cares about what's doing right by the community and probably helping this community, become better and more secure. Am I right?
Yes, you are.
Well, we're always looking here, people in the Lord's Alliance, for similarly minded people, and those who exemplify, the desire to bring security and of civilization, and not only talk about it, but actually do stuff about it. If you're one of those individuals, perhaps you'd join the Lord's Alliance.
I will think on it and I'll give you an answer relatively soon.
Fine, fine. No rush, no rush. The fact that you're looking into things, that already helps a lot and says a lot. Well, let me know. I'll still be at the inn, trying to recover. Oh, now I need to go talk to Harbin. And he turns around and wanders into the back.
All right. I'll rejoin the group and say, one of the things that grabbed me is the Red Brands took that fell Dendrar's body when they killed him. It's entirely possible the story is wrong. He's not really dead. They took him to save him, something like that. But it would be worth going there and from the perspective of let's find his body. We've heard that they took his body. Where is he? What happened? That kind of thing.
Well, Nadia looks over at Dale and is like, that's fine with me.
All right. If Kevin agrees, I'd be happy to just kind of walk over to the tap room and walk in and confront someone directly about it. Not necessarily aggressively, but directly.
All right, was somebody heading? I think Bogner, you were heading over to the Shrine of Luck, weren't you? To go talk.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, just since it's right here, I was just wanting to find out, just kind of generally, where she got her wounds.
Okay.
Nadia has no preference on any direction. She'll just kind of go whichever way.
Yeah, we can find that out first also.
Fair enough. All right. Well, you go over, and it looks like a temple. It's really more of a small shrine made of stones taken from probably nearby ruins. Anybody who wants to make a religion roll, you can make a religion roll to see if you recognize who the shrine's for.
That was a persuasion roll, Jeff.
Except I grabbed religion and dragged it and saw two things. And I was not pressing control for any of it. I did see two dice get dragged across when I did it. One higher up on the screen and one that I actually dragged.
All right. Dalen, you're this is a temple or a shrine to Tirnora, goddess of luck and good fortune. And sure enough, the shrine seems to be taken pretty good care of by who you assume to be Sister Gariel. And she's a young elf.
Well, I'm assuming I would know that as well, right?
Yep.
All right.
And that's her name.
Ooh, she's zealous too.
Zealous young elf. Well, she's very, very well dressed, very, very cleanly dressed. She's probably as clean as the temple that she keeps here, or the shrine that she keeps. So you come and talk to her, Bogner. You're there first, so.
Yeah, I'll introduce myself and just tell her that we kind of, overheard some people talking at the end yesterday that she had gotten wounded, and we were just wanting some information about, general area where it occurred and see if it's related to anything else that we've been hearing.
Gotcha. So she welcomes you, and she talks about You know, obviously that there's the red brands about, and she hopes something happens soon because they're they're not good for Phandalin, and they're only going to make things worse. And she asks if you guys are really interested in helping out in the area. Because she's been trying to gain some information, and so far she has not been very successful at it.
Are they the ones that caused your wounds, or was it something else?
No, it was something else. She kind of looks around and thinks it's all right. She says, I'm actually working to try to find some information about a lost spell book. But I've figured out that there's a creature that probably knows where the spell book is, but I don't seem to be able to get there myself in my current state. But if you're willing to go for me, you can bring this Agatha a gift, and hopefully that'll persuade her to tell me what she knows about maybe the location of the spell book. It's Bow Gentle is the mage that owned the spell book before. And she doesn't.
Okay, so was it Agatha or that caused the wounds, or was it something else while she was trying to get Agatha?
No, that something else. Something else in terms of me finding out that Agatha's the person that I need to seek out for the location of the spell book. I'm fine. Nothing that, time and Tainara won't help heal.
So it's not anything to do with the orcs that we saw on the notice or anything like that?
Oh, heavens no. No, I try to stay away from their area. That's not something I'm equipped to deal with. If I had come across orcs, I probably wouldn't be here to talk to you about them now. By about now, the rest of you catch up to Bogner.
Well, I don't know that I would have been that far behind Bogner. I was wandering around.
I took wandering around as just that, wandering around.
No, I was outside. I just followed whoever was going in a direction. So
Okay, well, by now others than besides Bogner got there, so you're there now. If you were there a little bit faster, that's fine.
I wrote down the notes about what you guys talked about.
So she asks, would you be interested?
She's talking to you, Bogner.
Maybe after we look into a couple other things.
Okay, well, when you are, let me know. Come back. I've got the comb that I can give you to take to her. And I can give you some healing potions. Don't have a lot of coin, but I'm a decent herbalist, so I could give you a couple, 3 of those. So let me know.
Do any of us know what an Agatha is?
It's a flower, isn't it?
No, she just Agatha's the person that you need to give this comb to try to gain her trust to let you know the location of the spellbook.
Okay.
Are you trying to ascertain who or what Agatha is besides a female?
You said bring when you stated the information to Bogner, you said that there's a creature that may know the location. Bring the Agatha a gift to tell the location. So
Hopefully I said, yeah, bring, probably I paused. Yeah, bring Agatha. That's the creature.
so Agatha is the creature.
Yes.
So that's why I was saying, do we know what Agatha is? What kind of creature?
Are you asking her?
Yes.
Oh, I don't know why I didn't say. She's a banshee. But I'm sure if you approach her nicely and, appeal to her vanity, that with the gift, she'd probably be able to tell you the location of the spell book.
So in other words, we need earplugs.
I just know that when I went out there, she didn't show up for me. Maybe she just doesn't like women.
Okay.
But she looks at the 5 of you and says, well, elf, half-elf, human, dwarf, lizard. Not having seen a draconian. You all
lizard
seem
was
to be
better.
men. So maybe she would find or fancy one of you 5. Anyway, she looks back at Bogner and says, so, I'm serious. Come back when you've dealt with your other business. I'll be here every day. She gives you that, that beatific smile that all nuns seem to be able to bring out when they want to. Think Sister Act, right? All the nuns in Sister Act when they'd smile at you.
Well, nod. I guess turn to Dalen and say, yeah, we can go ahead and go on to their location now. And while we're walking, I'll fill them in on what they didn't hear.
Okay.
All right. We'll head to the tap room where the red wrens are. And might as well check it out from the outside before just barging right in.
All right. So you guys decide to head out. Let's see here. one moment here.
So do any of us get the impression that the red brands are actually the people's names, or like the name of the group?
It's the name of the mercenary troop, is what I've gathered. So there are a bunch of mercenaries that they've come into town. They've set up shop in this old tap room, and they're pressuring the locals.
So Jim, is this a group that I would have heard of before?
Given your background, that is a very good question. Go ahead and let's see what makes sense for you. Give me a history check with advantage, since this is, you know, a mercenary thing. Click ADV in the bottom left, and then give me a history check. Yeah, this one, this doesn't seem to strike you as one of the major mercenary companies that you're used to. So you're not entirely sure if these guys are an up and up mercenary company or if something else is going on.
Okay.
Where's the location of the tap room on the map?
All the way here towards the right side of town, before before you exit the town and start heading up the hill.
Okie doke. Is it the bigger building or the little one next to it?
It's the
Okay, the
bigger
bigger
one
building.
right there. Yep.
Okay. So we've approached it. We're kind of scoping it out as we go. Anything that we see as we approach it?
Yep. Let me put a grid on this map. They didn't have a map for this, so I had to grab one really fast. And we'll put you guys on here. All right, so I shared a map with you.
All right, so we're approaching it, and there's nobody outside that we see.
You saw a person hanging outside, just sitting on these barrels, but as you approached, they got up and they walked inside.
Okay, I'm assuming that I'm standing almost in front of a window.
You can be a little bit further back, but no further than...
Right, but that's a window. That's a window right there, right?
Sure. So yeah, if you want to peek in.
So if we're approaching Nadia will come up right to the corner and see if she can see anything through the window before we go in.
All right.
Do you need a perception check?
Nope. It's day. It's light. There's a number of these folks inside. So let me put them in here. And in fact, as you're looking inside, there we go. A couple come outside. So as you approach this, it's a ramshackle tap room at the east end of town. More than four were lingering as you came approached. 2 went inside. They all went inside, then 2 came back out. And they're now perched on empty ale barrels. And they look at you as you approach. And one of them spits on the ground. Well, well, snarls. Here's a whole pack of little puppies. What do you want, puppies? Come here to bark at us?
I'll indicate back to Bogner and the rest of the group that there's at least 4 more inside that I can see. Just kind of hand gestures and whatnot, but I'm going to let Dalen and Bogner kind of start towards them.
What's that on the wall straight north where Dalen's at?
Sconch. Currently doesn't seem to have any material or any in there, so it'd be like you put some pitch in there and light it.
You're probably short enough to stand under it.
If you like dripping, burning pitch to fall on you, sure.
Some people like it. Yeah, I'm gonna walk up this far and just say, yeah, we're looking for, we're here to retrieve whatever the guy's name was. Phil Denver's body.
Shit, we ain't got him. And we wouldn't give him to you, and if you was asking for it. You guys look like some sorry sacks of shit anyway.
I'm going to use persuasion on them again. Maybe I'll actually get a good roll this time. So let us know what happened. And I still can't get a good roll unless I'm rolling.
He looks at you and says,
the
fuck
accent.
off. Get out of here.
I think I'm just going to stand there and stare at him.
They said, well, you gonna leave? And one draws his weapon and says, we gonna have to make you. And his cohort looks at him, pulls out his weapon, he says, yeah, we gonna have to make you.
I assume neither of them bought my fancy longsword.
Nope.
Oh wait, she wouldn't have sold to them anyway.
Yeah, they look like they got short swords.
How's their equipment?
Look like fairly sturdy leather armor, short swords. Not in disrepair, but this isn't top of the line stuff either. If they're mercenaries, Bogner, your opinion would be this, that they're not the most organized. They're not a very clean and crisp crew.
Guess you're gonna have to make us then.
Yeah, I'll draw my sword too. If they're gonna draw theirs, I'll draw mine.
And Jim, you've probably already been looking at. I wrote down.
He
Knocked
says,
an arrows.
right then.
Right then.
And he bangs the wall.
Is produce flame a single target or an AoE?
Single target.
Yep. All right.
Does he have an AoE?
Not that I know of.
Breath weapon.
Yeah,
Right.
I don't want a cone coming up my ass of fire.
Roll initiative.
Why does it have me as prone?
You had more beer than you remembered from last night.
Knocked the arrow. I knocked an arrow and I fell over.
All right, we're gonna lock tokens. This ruffian comes in from out. Oh, 1, 2, 3, Bogner, 4, 5, 6, Dalen. 4, 5, 6, Dalen.
And he swings a fancy longsword at you.
Nope, he's got a couple short swords actually. So he swings one around and he hits. For not a lot of damage. He takes another swing with his offhand, and he misses. Tertius.
Tertius goes ahead and produce flame at the guy that just took a swing at him.
Okay, so that'll be -2 to hit at red brand 18. So go ahead and target red brand 18, and then
Yeah, I'm trying to find this first.
sure.
18.
And is that because these other two are in the way, or is it because he just came out, or?
Because they're in the way. You're targeting. You're trying to shoot through.
Yeah, it's going to be. I mean, I think it would be the same for anybody, right? That I would be trying to target there. Yeah. Okay. So do I do disadvantage?
No, just -2. So next to the ADV or DIS on the bottom, there's -2. Yep. And then under his actions tab, produce flame. You know the drill.
So I got him targeted. Yeah, I do. Oh, missed.
Whoa. All right. So let me ask this question. Do we want to have the potential for automatic misses like that to potentially hit other party members if they're nearby?
I don't
because I'm
mind.
nearby.
I'm good either direction. That doesn't matter to me one way or another. So I'm fine with the potential. I'm fine with it not happening. As long as we're consistent, I'm good.
All right. So there, I just put a vote in the chat. So you can click on it. There's like a yes, there's a no. And so that way you guys can do it without, so just like you just
I
click
don't
on.
see a yes and a no. I see 3 circles.
Yeah, so you can click on it. You get a check, an X. A check is yes, an X is no. So go ahead and say if your check is yes, go ahead and allow for party damage for like crazy misses. All right. I love you guys. You're awesome. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4, Bogner. 5, 6, Dalen. All right. Roll some damage for Bogner. So just drag the damage over. Ouch.
Oops, I put it on the ruffian. I'm sorry.
That's okay. No big deal. I can quickly change that.
I hit that empty pitch up there and started on fire and dripped down on Bogner's head.
I like it. Came down on his shoulder, head, whatever.
So that's 6 beers he owes you.
At least.
No, that was all. It was all planned. I know that's gonna piss him off, and he's gonna hit somebody really hard.
Right. All right. Is that Tertius's turn?
Yeah, Tertius is gonna move down to the where I moved him.
And Nadia, I'm going to put you down just a little bit since that's kind of a bush. But okay, so I'll complete your turn. Evander. And let's see here. As a bonus action, he's going to give Dalen some inspiration. And then he is going to mock Ruffian 3, who fails. Basically says, you are one ugly mother.
You wounded him severely with that.
And a little bit of damage. And now he's good and mocked. Let's see. And he's going to move around to this side. Red brand 8. He's going to move there. Because I can't quite get in on you guys yet. Bogner, you're up.
All right, so are we going with Nadia's little description that she lit the pitch on fire?
Sure.
Sure.
In fact, when the
And
produced
how
flame
high?
hit it. Oh, it's, let's see, how tall are you again? It's within reach. I mean, it's 5 feet off the ground, so you can reach up and grab it if you want. But it's a sconce. It's you know, it's firmly in the wall there.
Oh, I'm not going to reach up and grab it. I'm going to swing at it with my freaking warhammer. See if I can splatter this all over them.
Okay.
So how do I target that and not the Ruffian 18 that I'm currently targeting?
So let's do this. So first, just give me don't target anybody. Just give me a Warhammer attack roll in the chat so we can see how well you smack this sconch. Oh. Oh. Oh, I love it when die gives you the narrative. It makes it so easy.
That's all I can see is Bogner going ahead and saying, "Oh, you motherfucker! You just tripped on me."
Bam! So you bring your warhammer overhead, and you obliterate that, and you do it so well it actually explodes into like a fine mist. So I'm gonna have you roll a 1d6 and then 2d4, and the d6 is for the damage that's going to be applied to the ruffian here in front of you, and the d4 is going to be applied one each to the other two ruffians behind him. All right. All right. Well,
Karma.
I was debating it before, but now since it's a critical, you get to double that. So we'll do 2, 2, and 2 for everybody. Okay. So Ruffian 18 takes 2 points of damage. Where is he? There he is. Mostly because he was expecting you to bring that hammer down on him, so he was kind of dodging out of the way. And then Ruffian 1 and 3.
They get the blowback.
Yep.
I like the way you think, though, Kev. That was awesome.
Worth a shot.
I just want to. I want to see I want to hear the conversation between you and Tertius later.
You and I have to talk, friend. All right. You can move, or you have a bonus action, or you good?
Yeah, I'll just go ahead and end my turn now.
All right. Ruffian 1. He's going to move to here. He's going to target Dalen. And he takes a swing, then brings his other short sword around. He swings again, and one misses, and the other clanks off a shield. Dalen, you're up. What's he going to do? First fight without his fancy longsword.
All right, I'm going to attack 18. Probably should still have the fancy longsword just for one to have a weapon I don't use. That was weird. I grab my dice, and I see another one appear on the rolling table. When I drag, and it starts to roll as I drag it over, and the second dice actually it rolls. It is the weirdest thing.
So what's your push to talk key?
Control.
Okay. All right. So I'll have to look, but it sounds like there's some kind of there's something associated with that. I'm not sure what it is just yet. All right. Well, in either case, you took some swings and did not connect with Ruffian 18. All right. What else are you going to do? Unless you want to use your bardic inspiration.
No, that one worked. I'm just playing with grabbing dice with and without control.
Right.
Yeah, that time I hit control, grabbed the die, and it rolled.
Okay.
But it's not consistent. In fact, control says act down at the bottom instead of chat. So it's probably related to that.
You're talking about, down at the bottom of where it normally says chat, it changes to act.
Right.
Gotcha. Yeah, for me it changes the story, so I'll have to read up and to see what those different capabilities do. All right, Ruffian 3. He comes around, and Nadia is going to take a swipe at you. And the first one he misses.
Why did he roll twice?
He got disadvantage.
Okay.
And the second one comes around. A little more coordinated, but he also misses. You're up.
So is this set up with a second? Or do these guys normally have a second attack the same skill level as the first attack?
Yep. They do.
I thought you needed like 2 feats or something like that, or that back in the 3rd edition, you needed to be like 7th level or 8th level before you could get to that point.
So in 5e, the way two-weapon fighting has changed, I believe anybody can two-weapon fight, but you don't necessarily. But you don't get your ability modifier for damage.
Okay.
All right.
All right, it's my turn.
Yep. Nadia, you're up.
Well, I'm going to go ahead and grab my quarterstaff. I'm going to smack the crap out of the guy in front of me.
He says, "Oh no, you didn't take a swing at me." Bam! That's good for 1 hit.
Not much damage. But then I'm going to do my unarmed. Oh, I missed him.
Tried to punch him in the head, but he was like, "Ow, that really hurt," as he ducks away from your quarterstaff.
I'll flurry of blows his ass.
Ooh, all right. So you get 1 more unarmed attack. Go for it.
Oh, I still missed him.
All righty.
We should have prayed at the Shrine of Luck. We didn't do that.
Oh, it's because you got rid of your damn fancy longsword.
Well, I guess there is that. Maybe I'll have to go back and spend 60 gold to get it back.
She probably would charge you 60 for it too. All right, this guy comes in. Dalen's getting a lot of love from these guys.
So does he wait? Since there's a guy engaged with me already, isn't he? Or the guy at the angle? So he came between the guy engaged with me and me.
Yeah, as long as you don't end in in the same space, you can kind of work your way through. But let's see. That would have been 20. So we go 15. If you take it back to here to 10, 20, 25. Actually. So, if you prefer, he could have walked all the way around.
Well,
Still
that's
got
fine.
there. So that would have been 30.
Yeah, that's fine. It was just the whole jump through. It's like, wait a minute, there's a guy right there.
Sure. He'd rather do that than try to wedge himself between you two trading blows anyway. And he gets around your shield. Oh, ouch. Oh, ouch, ouch. All right. Gives you a pretty good stick in the leg as you turn to face him. This guy comes out. He's also going to work you, Dalen, since he can't quite reach Bogner. Oh, but he misses.
And he hits one of his friends, probably. If you're going to be consistent.
Well, there's nobody between him and you. The other one was he had to get by. He had to throw a flaming bolt past Bogner. But he does lose his grip on his short sword and drops it. And let's see, does he? We'll give him a con check.
Stabs himself with the foot.
Nope. I'm gonna say that the fact that he dropped it, he kind of ruined his flow, so he doesn't get a second attack. All right, 18.
So this bush here, how is this like a dense foliage or?
It's definitely what do they call it? Difficult terrain. If you want to try to get through it, you might have a better opportunity hopping over it. You know, as a monk.
I wasn't looking at it as a monk. I was looking at it as a druid.
Gotcha. Bogner, this guy's now turning to take a couple swings at you, and he misses both. One you avoid, and the other you smash his short sword wide with your shield. Tertius, you're up again.
All right, just a moment.
And the only one you could really see is you can see Ruffian 3.
Because you got 30-foot movement.
Right. Okay. So
that was 5. I was trying to move multiple places.
My apologies.
No, it's not your fault. I was struggling. My map moved.
All right. Is that where you want to be?
I want to be right behind Dalen.
All right, we'll put you right there.
And I'm going to cast a...
I would do an attack. I can do a lay on hands my next round.
Nope. I don't know that. I'm going to cast a Cure Wounds on you.
You being the fighter, that's probably the smarter play anyway.
So I've targeted...
Okay. And untarget 18.
And I got to untarget 18.
Perfect.
I'm working on it. I'm learning. Didn't do much, but I did try to heal you.
All right. Anything else? All right. Evander. Let's see. Yeah, that's probably pretty good. He'll get 3 of them.
And a half.
Well, yeah, not quite enough for the half.
Quarter. Well, it is 3 because he gets 3/4 of one and 1/4 of another.
All right. So I rolled 5d8 and 17. And let's see what that does. And who who's closest? And they're actually identically. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. All right, Ruffian 10 falls down asleep.
He could have targeted that to aim more than to include me because I'm immune to it.
He'd already dropped his sword anyway.
Yeah, but I'm immune to magic sleep.
So am I.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if that's ever come up yet, so Evander wouldn't know that. But he can only affect 5d8 hit points worth, so. And it's hit points instead of hit die like it used to be. He was hoping to bring 2 of them down, but ended up with only 1. And let's see, that'll be his turn. Red brand 8. He's going to come up. Bogner. There's just a little stub of a sconch now after you obliterated it last time. Oh, yeah. You gave him a good whack, that's for sure. Anything else, sir? Are you thinking or complete your turn or? Trying to see if you're trying to talk to us. Oh no.
Hello.
There you are. You're back. Looks like Dalen. Hey, can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. Looks like Dalen and Hephaestus dropped offline.
Yeah, it showed me that you dropped off too.
All right. Well, they'll probably come back here in a minute then. Weird. All right. So you whacked him. Are you done or?
Yeah, I was going to go ahead and use my action surge, so does it mean I can get ahead and look at my Warhammer again?
Yep. Action surge gives you another action, so you can attack him again if you'd like. Extremely well used action surge. All right, that brings him down. Now you got movement. So if you want, you can move up and around behind Ruffian 10 and or 1 and give Dalen some
Yeah, so let me just show you where I want to move, and I guess I want to find out then if that's going to give them an attack of opportunity, or if I can move that far. So if I can move there without getting an attack of opportunity, it's where I'm basically standing kind of like between those two guys.
Yep, absolutely.
All right.
Just dropping off and rejoining. Interesting. This is the first time I've seen this.
I'm gonna blame Jeff's control key.
All right.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yep.
All right, now I'm back.
Probably
All right,
6:45.
but I can't hear you. Let me figure this out.
Yep, we can hear you.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
I can hear everybody.
Okay. So the three of us are good.
Well, I'm on my phone. I can't. My Discord on my PC won't read.
Interesting. So, okay, can you hear us on your phone?
All right, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
So it was really weird. I had you on the phone, and I couldn't get it to come out like as a speaker, and then all of a sudden my PC reconnected.
Yeah, I've never heard of I've never seen it drop like that. Okay, well, glad we're back. Wagner used his action surge for another attack and critted and dropped him, and then moved behind these other two ruffians that are trying to work on Dalen.
Okie dokie.
I believe, Wagner, that's probably all that you can do.
Yep.
All right, Red Brand Ruffian 1. You're working behind him. But still, 1, 2, 3 for Dalen since he's injured. Nope.
Well, the one's asleep, right?
No, 10's asleep.
I said one of them is asleep. Number 10, okay.
Yep. he's gonna take another swing. Was Ruffian one that dropped it?
No, Ruffian 10.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, he's gonna
Oh
take.
no, actually it was Ruffian 1, wasn't it? He's the one that came out and had to go around, wasn't he?
The 15 went around, but he hit me twice.
So was it 10 or 1 that dropped it?
The one that's asleep.
Okay, so it was 10. It was a sleeper.
All right. Either way, this guy takes a couple swings. He's a little unnerved that his partner that Bogner was fighting, dropped to the ground with a warhammer, and the one next to him just dropped to the ground for seemingly no reason. All right, Dalen. So you got one that's prone on the ground, and then one that's
I'm gonna attack 15.
okay.
I'll smite him if I hit, but I'm not expecting to because I don't know my fancy longsword is a.
As a karmic balance. Oh, but you do
Oh.
hit.
And I want to use the divine smite also.
Okay. Burn yourself a spell slot and then roll yourself some more damage. Well,
Why did that come up all of a sudden?
Oh, because I forgot to click on it before to indicate that I used it.
Oh, okay. I was like, okay, well, we got a smite, and then all of a sudden it made Bogner surge.
He got real excited. All right. Red Brand 3. He's going to take some more swings at you, Nadia. He's going to miss. And he's going to miss again.
I'm going to mock him.
All right.
I'm going to hit him with my quarterstaff, hopefully.
Poke him in the nose with the end.
Should tell him to run away, or you will taunt him
Nope.
another time.
I'll go ahead and hit him with an unarmed attack, hopefully. No.
What you need to do is attack. You need to
You
attack
shouldn't
with
have
an
gotten rid
unarmed
of that
fist.
damn sword. After you got rid of that sword, I'm all, like, my rolls are like shit.
It was a lodestone for the bad rolls, and now it's being distributed back amongst the whole party. Roll me a dexterity, an acrobatics check there, Nadia.
What, am I going to drop my hand?
No, I'm gonna. Did you try to punch him or did you try to kick him?
Well, either way, it's an unarmed attack. Who would I hit?
No, you might, if you went to kick him. I was assuming you were kicking him, so you might fall on your ass. Lose your balance. No problem. In fact, you kind of swing through and miss and do that, roundhouse where you spin all the way around and then drop your foot again, looking at him.
It was a drunken master punch.
Right. Sorry, put you back there.
Had that ale for breakfast.
Are you done for now?
Oh yeah, 2 misses is gonna like discourage me to hit him again, even though I mocked him.
You can't hit me. Whiff, whiff.
I can't hit you either.
Let's see. He's hurting. Oh, Dalen, you laid some pretty good damage on him, so he'll stay on you. No, he misses. And he misses again. All right. Let's see now.
He's asleep.
Yeah, I gotta see if he even gets a chance to wake up or if he is just out until somebody wakes him up.
I thought with sleep, it's if you interact with him in any way. So you either had to attack him, or Bogner had to trip over him, or.
Yep, that's the way it is. He is still out cold. All right, Tertius.
Well, since my healing seemed to suck, I've been discouraged at healing. I'm going to try to produce flame on the Ruffian 15.
All right. You lift your hands up and aim it at him and theatrically blow the flame into his face. And it hits.
I finally had a good roll.
Takes him right in the face. He's like, ah, whoa. He's down. All right.
I finish my turn and give Bogner a wink. since I dropped pitch on his head.
I'm not sure you want to wink at a dwarf, though.
Yeah, I just scowled back at him.
Well, he's Saurian, so it's really it's like an inner eyelid that closes. So it's not quite the same effect.
Evander.
Yes, Evander's like,
Evander. Come on, rush in and attack with your rapier whip. Or your rapier.
He is going to come in and he's going to take a swing at Ruffian 3 with his rapier. Ineffectually, yeah.
Maybe he needs a fancy rapier.
And I forgot to check that. And he's going to give, as a bonus action, some Bardic Inspiration to Nadia, since he's not used to her whiffing, and he'd really like to see her take out somebody, since he's now right next to the melee. All right, Red Brand 8. Yep. He's going to swing at Evander, because the other guy can't seem to hit Nadia. Oh, he's going to miss. And he's going to miss.
We're not really fighting. We're doing like some kind of like dance.
Yeah. It's what?
It's the slappy dance.
Bogner, you're up. Oh, and that's a critical too. Nice. Whacks one and brings it down.
I'll go ahead and move up behind these two.
Okay. The other guy who's snoring on the ground doesn't do anything.
Yeah, that's why I wasn't worried about moving.
Dalen.
So one thing I did notice, because I was curious about it, the ruffian who hit me 2 different times got +2 on both of his damages. So it's not doing the second attack per second attack disadvantage of any sort.
Nope, they don't have that same restriction.
But I thought that's what you said. You don't get the bonus damage.
As a player, yes. These guys have a multi-attack, so consider it like a two-handed weapon of feat or something.
Okay.
You're gonna stomp on the number 10's noggin.
He's still asleep, isn't he?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna come attack this guy.
Take a little step over.
Yeah.
You get +2 to that attack since you're got him flanked.
Don't roll a 1. Don't roll a
Okay, I just tried grabbing the die and a die flew across the screen and it grabbed my window, and I was not pressing control at the time. Or it grabbed the whole character sheet, and I'm dragging the character sheet around by grabbing the middle of it.
Interesting. Yeah. Can you click it again? See if it'll stop. Ugh. All right.
I mean, there is something fucked up with this thing.
Something's going on with you. Yeah. Roll me roll me an athletics check. See if you keep your sword. And you do. So really, as you kind of bring it around, you at the last moment you see that Tertius was there because you kind of didn't take him into account, and instead of lopping off a part of his head or ear, you adjust your swing, and it was really awkward. So that kept you from hitting your target ruffian. But you keep your blade. What else would you like to do?
Nothing, because I'll fail at it anyway.
All right, Ruffian 3. He's going to continue this pop and lock dance with you, there, Nadia. Oh, but he finally connects on one. Not very effectually, though. Kind of gives you a little nick on one of your arms. At which point he goes, "Ha ha!" He seems rather happy to have gotten a hold of you.
All right, so I'll hit him with my quarterstaff or not.
All right, roll me a d8 for this. Let me see.
A D8.
Yeah, just a d8.
Yes.
All right. All right, so you swing through and it catches on the bush next to you. All right, you still have a offhand attack if you want to use it. And that misses. Unless you want to use your bardic inspiration, you still got a d6 you can try.
Sure, why the hell not?
And that hits. Go and roll damage.
So why does that keep showing up as Tertius?
Because I have two that I'm running, and I haven't re-clicked on Nadia's portrait to switch it over.
Ah.
Yeah, so if you have two characters assigned to you, or you've picked two characters, if you click on one, you'll see that character's name in the upper left of the table kind of become slightly more bold, and that's your active character
Which I can
interactives
see
in the chat. So so if you would do chat, it would be as right now Nadia, since he has, I believe, that one bolded. And then if you clicked on Tertius,
Gotcha.
the chat would be as Tertius. All right, all done there, Fiard? All right.
Let me see here. So
we're gonna finish one more, and then it's midnight. So I will ask, do we continue or stop?
I can still do my another flurry of blows. I'm going to do a flurry of blows against Ruffian 8.
Okay, so go ahead and tick off a key point, and then give me another unarmed attack.
No good.
And that misses.
Wow, I'm gonna get rid of all of these damn bad rolls today.
All right, and Ruffian 10 is still sleeping. So at this point, it's 12:02. We'll be top of the round. Normally we kind of kick off at midnight here. Kevin, I assume that's probably a good idea, or?
We can finish this if you want. I don't care.
Okay. There's not much left, so Tertius, you're up. Got one sleeping and one standing. What is good old Tertius going to do?
Oh, sorry, it was Tertius. I'm sitting here rolling a d20 back and forth across my window, trying to get all of my bad rolls out. Where am I? Tertius. He will try to hit red brand 8 with a produce flame.
All right, he's got a straight shot, no issues. And he hits.
Ah, see, I got all that rolling helped.
And good damage too. All right, done?
Yeah, he's done.
All right, Evander. He's gonna pull his rapier around again. Oh, and he's gonna hit.
Yeah, baby.
Also max damage. Ooh. Looks like you cleared the die for everybody.
I grabbed that d20, just started rolling it across the screen.
All right. The last one's sleeping. So at this point, what we can say is if you want to take him captive, you can take him captive.
Captive is my choice.
Yeah, that would be my choice too.
All right. So where we'll end tonight is that you've tied him up, you've taken him captive, and we'll pick up here next time at the Giant Tap with a red band ruffian who's going to be slapped awake. And we'll see where you go from there.
Can we, was there, we want to search these other guys too before we forget. Do they have anything worthwhile to take off of them?
No. I mean, they got some short swords. That's about it. Maybe a copper piece or two. But there's nothing else here. And in fact, let's see here. Yep. That's all that's here.
Okay.
All right. So we'll pick up interrogating your ruffian next time, and we'll continue to see what you guys do here in Phandalin. Seems to be a lot going on for a little sleepy town. All right. Thank you for playing or watching the stream, and we'll see you guys next week.
All right. Sounds good.